Welcome back, everybody. I am here with Yair Gafni. I'm super excited because this is the second attempt at making sure that you get the information that he is providing to his clients, his prospects, his people in the world. He has a message to share with you today. I'm super excited to welcome Yair Gafni. Hello, Yair. How are you?
I'm doing well, James. Great to see you again, and happy that you're feeling better. So that's
Thank
already
you.
great news.
Yes.
Appreciate that.
Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you. So my good wishes to you. You're out on the East Coast right now. Whereabouts are you?
Oh, exactly. I'm in Vermont. Beautiful place. A lot of places to hike. Love it.
That is a very nice place to be in September. If anybody watching has never been to Vermont in September or in the fall at all, then you need to make your way up there. Yes, exactly. Really good place to walk and hang out. And what brings you there? Why are you there?
Visiting family. My dad lives here, so I came
Nice.
for a short visit and then back to my other country.
Cool. Oh, so why don't we do that? Because even though you and I know where you're from, tell us where you're from. Where did you
Yeah.
fly from to land in Vermont?
I live in Israel. I live right next to Jerusalem. So Jerusalem, Israel, and that's where I'm located. This right now, I'm here for like 2 weeks, but going back there after.
Awesome. Well, look, we could talk a lot more about who you are and your life story, but I prefer to do that from the perspective of sharing with people what it is that you do and what it is that you know. So I'm going to dive straight in, and people will learn a lot more about you if I ask you some questions. So tell us a little bit about why you do what you do. So don't tell us what you do yet. Tell us why you do what you do.
Amazing. I believe that any person that, the second they came here to Earth, they have beauty and they have skills that like a treasure that is in them. So basically, my goal is to help people, overcome their challenges, light their path. That way, they see the beauty and the skills that are in them. They see that treasure, and there are ways to see it. But it doesn't matter who you are. The fact that you're here, the fact you're born, the fact you're right now alive, you have a treasure in you, and I could guarantee you're not seeing all of it. So my job is basically to help you see that beauty through helping you overcome your challenges. That way you light your path and you see that beauty.
Wow. So my hashtag might be hashtag find your treasure. But what's your one word? What's the one way in which you see yourself serving others? What's that?
Helping people change their mindset.
Changing mindset. So mindset is the number one thing.
It's 1 out of 6. Like, yeah.
Okay, well, that leads us nicely into what you do. So why don't we launch in? Now people are like, what is this all about? Tell us,
Yeah,
what do you do specifically so people get to grasp onto those concepts, and then we can dive into each of them as we go through this.
for sure. So as we said, I believe that really each person has beauty in them, has a treasure in them. And as I see it, I'm there to be a servant for people, help people overcome their challenges and light their path. How do we do that? We do that through investing in the 6 pillars for success. The 6 pillars are mindset, sleep, relationship. Of course, with that is the relationship with ourselves. After that, it's nutrition, exercise, and financial behavior. So those are the 6 pillars. Mindset is the first one, as you realize. And the reason I'm saying mindset is the first one, if I go back like a year ago, I was dating a girl and we started talking about nutrition, and she started telling me that if she eats a certain type of strawberry that doesn't grow up in like a certain temperature, like went through this crazy thing. I'm like, man, the damage that you're doing to yourself through like, feeling bad that you ate that strawberry that didn't grow, like the damage of that is much bigger than the strawberry that you ate. Okay. And like mindset is everything. Like if you go through life, you might have everything, but you won't see it. Okay. When we don't have the right mindset, we're basically missing through life. We're missing out life because even if we have everything, we might not appreciate it. We might not realize that we have it. Okay. Not
Yeah.
talking appreciation, but right now I'm looking here outside. Wow, beautiful, like beautiful tree, beautiful flowers. I could live here and I could not see it. So I'll go now through the in mindset, basically what types of mindset should we have now? Just want to go back just one step before that. What is mindset? Mindset is basically setting our mind for something, right? So I believe that again, there are a million, but the 7 major mindsets that human beings should practice having in life. And I'm saying practice because it's not, one time thing. Hey, I'll be grateful. Hey, I'll appreciate. Like it's a practice, like anything in life. And the more we practice, we get better. So mindset divides into 7. Number 1 is the mindset of faith and belief. Number 2 is the mindset of love. Okay, loving ourselves, loving the people around us. Number three is a mindset of surrendering and accepting. So take action, move in life, but out of a place of surrender and acceptance. Mindset number four is a mindset of reflection and learning. Okay. We'll go through life. Whatever happened to us, meant to happen to us. The question is, are we learning the lesson in that situation? Okay. Mindset number five is observe and change the meaning. So I spoke today to a friend of mine and he shared with me some things that he's going through. And I told him, maybe just try to look from the outside, take the same situation, now change the meaning. Like until now, you gave it a certain meaning that is damaging you. And again, I understand what happened. It hurts, whatever he told me. But what can you learn from it? Change the meaning. Mindset number six is gratitude. I believe that the most amazing things in life are the ones we take for granted. You know, we just spoke about, you asked me what I'm grateful for. I just woke up and I have trillions of cells in my body that are working. I went for a run in the river and two of my legs were there and all of my body when I run, you know, was able to move and walk. I was able to see the beauty. I was able to taste. I have a friend that has COVID, a really dear friend of mine. She can't taste anything, like nothing. And she also can't smell. So I'm saying there are so many things in life we take for granted and they could just appear in a second. And no, mindset number seven, which I won't say is the most, but if you don't do that, you're basically missing life, is being present. Someone once asked me, yeah, you're like, why are you so focusing on being present? I said, if I won't do that, I'll miss life. Like all the beauty is right here. And if I'm not present, I just won't see it. Even if it's right, you know, it's right here, it's with me. So that's the seven of the mindset. And that's why I'm saying mindset is number one before everything.
Awesome. So there's an awful lot in there. So if you're watching this or you're listening to this somewhere, I really want you to go back. You know, because seven things typically, if you use in psychology, there was a famous psychologist called Miller, and Miller had a chunking theory, and chunking theory states that you can remember seven things on average, every human. So now we have seven, but there's also six pillars for success that we heard here from Yair. So I need you to pause, go back and watch those seven again and take note. And then we're going to talk a little bit about those as we go through here. Okay,
Sure.
so that there's seven there that you went through. I'm going to quickly rattle through those: faith, love, surrender, reflection and learning, observing and changing, gratitude, and my favorite one was presence. Because yes, everything changes when we're present. Yeah, and I love your presence with your running analogy and talking about when you go for a run, are you present, even checking in with your body, listening to that. I always wonder, why do people run with music in their ears? How do they hear themselves? That's not present, right? So you're present with the music, maybe not present with yourself, and then you get injured. How did I get injured? You maybe weren't listening to your body. So that's really, really good. So let's talk about this then. So somebody watching this may go, yeah, so what? So what do you think are the biggest mistakes that people make as it relates to mindset in your world? What do you see?
Number one is in general, like in all the six pillars and with the mindset. So, you know, we have this expectation that, okay, you know, let's do everything. And like we get hyped for whatever reason, and then we do nothing. So we start for a week and then we do nothing. Any big change it's not a one day, you know, take do six steps for, you know, for changing in one day your life and having a better life. It doesn't work like that. Anything worthwhile in life needs work to be put into it. So that's number one. Okay, understanding, focus on step one. Okay, step number one, and that's the most important. Breaking it down into steps, like anything, like I said, anything worthwhile, we need to work in. The second thing is that many times, you know, so someone now we're talking, you know, it's nice outside, looks pretty nice. Also, where you are, sometimes we're in a place of, you know, we feel terrible and like the last thing we want to hear is now six pillars for success or seven different types of mindset. It's like just leave me alone. And then but then, you know, we say maybe let's try, but we try out of a place of resistance. When we resist, it persists. Okay,
Oh,
so
young. Yeah, I like that.
we must act out of a place of surrender. Okay, do take the action, but out of a place of surrender. Accept where you are. You might feel like a piece of crap, and that's fine. Accept it. Feel the feeling. Okay, and you might feel amazing and great. Okay, I don't know how you feel right now, but however it is that you feel, surrender to wherever you are right now. Accept it, and out of that place, take that change. And I'll just say there are a lot of things, but I'll just say about being present and gratitude. And a lot of times they come together. Once I went, I was, I think, around Arizona. I was backpacking with a friend, and he was complaining the whole time. And he told me, no, it's our job as human beings to complain. And I told him, listen, my dear friend, I love you, but you're missing now like so much beauty around you. And you were dreaming to come to this hike for such a long time. Now that you're here, you're focusing, you're not here, you're not present, you're not grateful. And that could change. And by the way, just a little bit afterwards, he broke his leg. Okay. So I say, if we're present, if we have gratitude, and there's many things to be grateful for. And this is the danger part.
Yeah.
Being grateful doesn't mean, taking all the challenges and putting them under the carpet and saying they don't exist. Because if that's gratitude for you, throw gratitude out the window. Gratitude means is, okay, we have our challenges 100%, they're here, not putting them aside. But in addition to that, if we want to overcome those challenges, if we want to do anything good in life, we need to have a gratitude mindset, because we'll do the work to, overcome these challenges, but out of a gratitude mindset. And there's so much to be grateful for. It doesn't matter what state you are. They say that most people, their nightmare is somebody else's dream. Maybe there's 0.111% that I don't think it's anyone's dream, their nightmare, because they're really going through hell on earth.
Yeah.
And for each person it's different. But I'm saying for most people, like, if you don't appreciate what you have, you won't appreciate anything else. Of course, want more, achieve more, amazing. But first, appreciate what you have, be grateful for that. And the way I think to do this is through being present.
Also, that's what I was going to ask you about next. So in my business, where I'm helping career executives maximize, because most of my clients, and they won't mind me saying this, are wildly successful. However, they don't know what they don't know. And so when they come to me looking for clarity, one of the things that I observe about them really quickly is that they actually know lots of things that they should be doing, but don't actually do it. So they don't actually take the execution steps. How does that show up in your business and in your world? So you know now through your 7 gratitude items what people should be doing. And they may even know too. They may even say, yeah, well, I know I should be more grateful. Yeah, I know I should be more present, and I got to work on that. But what do you think is showing up in kind of what's missing in execution for them? Why do people take action? Why do people not take action?
Yeah, so in general, the 6 pillars for success and the 7 different types of mindset, many times they can confuse people. So even though if they know, it's like, okay, there's so much here. Okay, so going back to what is the most important for me right now, and for each person is different, focus on that. And before we talk about, okay, how to do it, like even though I know but I don't actually do it, I want to be, crystal clear. I'm a student with everyone. It's not that I finished working on myself and now I'm trying to give a teaching. I'm also working on myself every day. Like I said, it's a practice. It's really important to understand. It's not a one-time show. The more we do, we get better. Anyways, back to your question. So what I would recommend is to do something pretty simple. If we know what we need to do, in addition to breaking it into steps, imagine yourself not having it, whatever it is that you want. Okay, so you have a certain goal, whether it's right now to build a business or to create a better relationship with your partner. So before imagining how it is when you get there, first imagine yourself when you're not wherever you want to get. Imagine, feel it. How does it feel? Probably not so good. And if you're having a hard time to feel it, and this is also a tip I give to one of my clients, think about someone else that is in that situation. Maybe it's someone maybe it's through a movie that you watched, but they are right now in that place that you do not want to get to. It would really hope you to feel that, okay? Because you might say, how can I feel it? So watch that person, or that movie, whatever that is in that place, feel it. Now, okay, amazing, you're there. Now feel how it is wherever, imagine and feel how it is wherever you do want to get. And most, I don't know if most, but one of the most important things, just don't focus on like, okay, well, I know someone else that does it better. Like, doesn't matter. Like, put everything aside, focus on that next step. Okay, you felt how it is, where that place is that you don't want to get to. Now you're feeling and seeing where that place like that you do want to get to, and just focus on the first step and know that with time things will change. So if you think you might be from the people that visualize and you're really good at it, and you might be from the people that are not, but visualizing the first step is not a problem for anyone. And number 2, visualizing where you want to get. If you're having a hard time to do it, again, like we did with the failure part, go to someone that has got to wherever you want to get, see how they feel, take it to you, okay?
Yeah.
But always focus on the next step and know that not if changes will come or if challenges will come, is when changes and challenges will come. So I had many paths in my life. I was supposed to be recruited to different places. And we won't talk about right here, right now. And things change. I got a back injury. Things happen in my life, and we need to adjust. When we have those seven different types of mindset. So it's not fun when you had a big dream, and that was my dream in life, and it changed. But with those mindsets, so I still have the challenges. They don't disappear, but I'm able to not only overcome them, also grow from them.
Got it. There's a lot to break down in that. And again, if you're listening, you need to rewind this. So there's got a couple of minutes there of conversation where I want you to reset that. There's a few things that I pulled out, so I'll talk about those now. First one is talking about this getting help or getting a coach. One of the things you were saying at the beginning of that was kind of, how do you get better at mindset? Well, you need a mindset coach. If you have a mindset coach, you will become a better mindset coach for yourself. Like if you had a coach who was coaching you in your career, that's what I do. And I help senior executives and business owners as well. And I coach those people because they have a coach, they will become better coaches inside of their roles, inside of their business, which means they can pay it forward, which they can lead better, they can mentor better. And that's why both you and I have coaches. We have coaches for ourselves outside of this conversation. So I think that's a really vital distinction that you made at the beginning of there. I also think you were touching on, most people have forgotten how to feel the day. Most people are doing the day. So they get up and they do the day. And they go to work, look after the kids, have the breakfast, do the lunch, make the packed lunch, put it in the backpack, get everybody packed off to school, go to work, come back, slump on the sofa maybe. They're doing the day. And we get so lost in that we don't actually feel. And when we stop feeling, we become demotivated. And then we have this experience where our mindset gets locked and gets stuck in a place where we shouldn't be surprised when we wake up. And a lot of the work I do with my clients is about waking them up, because they've built a life for themselves that they don't enjoy. So I love that you said that. I think that was really good. And you also kind of touched on, it's not how. The question not to ask is how. There's this book with Benjamin Hardy and Dan Sullivan, Who Not How. And you really touched on, who is the person who's achieving the things I want to achieve in my life? And am I having conversations with them? Am I engaged with them? And we have this perception that we can't reach people who are out of reach. And it's not true at all. The digital platforms have allowed us to connect with those people. So I recommend that you do. This will allow you to feel more. This will allow you to become a better coach for yourself. And regardless of the topic, and today we've been heavily focused on mindset here in the beginning, even though there are 6 pillars to success, which we will document for you. So I want to ask you, now you've said all that, do you have a favorite client story, somebody you've worked with on these 7 mindsets that you could share a story with us?
Yep. And I'll just say that also this story, it goes back to being present. And we're called human beings, not human doings. And being is so crucial, and also the stories about that. So this is a client that many times he wanted, I don't like to say depression, because each person defines depression differently, but he had a lot of anxiety about things that might happen in the future, or depression about things that happened in the past, and just back and forth, and anything in life, just he wasn't able to really move forward because he was always or busy in the fear of what might happen in the future.
Yeah.
Or he was basically, sitting in the past and why did I do that? Why, again, he wasn't being present. And we worked a lot on 2 things. Number one is being, okay, being here right now, because whatever we have in life is right now. And a second, things can change and we won't be here. Okay, I almost died in a car accident. I got killed a month ago. I almost got run on the truck, and it could have happened, a split second here, a split second there. It would have happened. So right now I'm here. Tomorrow I don't know. So we worked a lot on being present, and that's number one. And number 2 was working on basically changing the meaning or attachment that we give to our thoughts. So when thoughts come up, number 1, we could decide that we're part of I told him, make believe that you just now went to a show and you're the audience. So your thoughts are in the show. They're the actors. and you're the audience. So you decide to what thought you want to attach, to what thought you want to detach. But working on that, and again, it's always practice. But he really told me like, yeah, my life has changed because now like he had all these thoughts, and I'm like, I asked, is it true? Like, is that thought true? Is it happening right now? Do you know that whatever it is that you think is going to happen, do you know it's going to happen? The answer is always no. Okay. And when you get to the bridge, whatever you could do to cross it in the best way, do it. I'm not saying close your eyes. No, not at all. But like we build so many buildings based off or nothing many times or something that is not that big. And again, prepare to whatever you need to prepare, but we take it, much further. And number two, when it comes to the past, so we changed the meaning that we gave to events. I told them, okay, we went through something. What can you learn from it? Because it happened. So if it happened, it had to happen. How do I know? Because it happened. So there's nothing really to argue over here. So what can you learn? Okay, don't put your fingers outside because that won't you'll stay in a jail inside if you do that. No fingers out, fingers in, and then you go out free. So what can you learn? So basically focusing on that, on what can we learn from in each experience, and attaching or detaching to the thoughts. That really helped him like change. Like you see him today, he's a much happier person. Of course, he still has these challenges coming up, but like he's living life. He's present. He told me, "Wow, yeah, you're like all of a sudden I see like these things outside I never saw, or I realize different skills that I have, and he's just a different person." And again, he'll need to keep on practicing, like all of us, until like that's it's part of the game of life.
Yeah.
But like this, like a totally different person. Someone came to me and he told me like, "Yeah, what did you do with him? Like, did you do to him something?" I said, first, he did
Ooh.
all, yeah, he did all the work. I was just there, I was the servant giving him the tools, but he did the work, so I'm not taking the credit. But you see, he's really doing the work, and you really see that there's a huge
Yeah.
improvement.
This is a really good client story because it makes me think of kind of a universal rule or universal level of order. Is kind of thinking about we like to influence and control the external. There is a chance that for your life to change wildly, that something in the external world will change for you, and that will be the catalyst that allows your life to be completely changed. But the likelihood is, as we're seeing with your client, or we're hearing that story, is something inside, something internal changes. And that's the thing, when we control our internal world, that actually changes our life forever. So congratulations on that. It's good to hear that story, because I think that's crucial, that people understand that it's much more likely that something inside of you will change for you to have a very different life, or the life that you have set an expectation for yourself to live, than anything in the external world. So that's a really powerful story. So thank you for sharing it.
Sure.
Let me expand on that. What's the best compliment you've ever received?
Changed my life.
Oh wow! So somebody
Yeah,
said that to you. So how
yeah. But
often do you hear that?
I'll just say something about compliments, and I heard that, or other people that start getting into shape with through sleeping good and having good nutrition and exercise. Also told me like, wow, all of a sudden like a morning is a total different morning and much more appreciated. But to be honest with you, it's work for me. It's in a work, but I try not to tie any of my self worth to whether people told me, wow, yeah, you changed my life, or they told me, wow, what you're doing, it's that it takes too much work and we don't believe in that, and it's too much of an effort. All good, like you do you, I do me, as long as we respect each other. So in general, I try not to tie myself worth to that. Of course, I'm a human being, so I'm not saying it's easy, but yeah, I did get compliments on that, or many people told me that like I help them basically to empower themselves, because our number one enemy is many times ourselves. I'll give you a story, just a short one. Uh, I was the same thing. Okay, so I went to my friend, and his dad called me in. I'll make it short. And he told me, "Hey, come, I want to do with you some type of practice." He's like a big, he's a big coach, a big mentor. And he told me, write everything about yourself, everything, all of your qualities, who you are, who is Yair, everything. I wrote it down. And then he said, okay, now give yourself a grade from 1 to 10. 1 is the worst, 10 is the best. And I gave myself, I think, 6 or 7. And he told me, are you sure? And I'm like, wait, should I say less? Should I say maybe 6, like 5? I wasn't really sure what he wants. And he said, listen, just give a number. I think I said 6 or 7. And then he tells me, I want you to answer me fast. No thinking involved. I'm going to ask you a question, answer. Same qualities, same, everything's the same thing. Give a grade, it's your friend. And I was like 9. And he told me, you're listening to yourself. It's the exact same qualities, exact same skills, but I'm telling you it's your friend. And you're giving him a 9 and you give yourself a 6. So our worst enemy is ourselves, our limiting beliefs. And I think that in order to basically improve that, we need to work not only on mindset on all the pillars, but mindset will be the first one. So also when I get a compliment from me, like I said, it's work, not to attach to it. I'll say thank you, but not to attach. And also the opposite. When I get a negative feedback, would be the same. But it's really important to understand that it's a mixture of all of them. Okay, so it's the mindset part, and then you have to get that good sleep. You have to get that that exercise, whatever it is that you like, so forth and so on. So yeah.
Yeah. I'm all on board with being wary of external validation and not having that determine your self-worth. But neuroscience tells us gratitude only works when we receive it. It doesn't work. You can't just say, I'm grateful for all these things and always be pushing it one way. Gratitude works when we receive it. So making sure that you do observe compliments, for me, I think that's a big thing. But I agree with you. I think what you're saying is I don't need external validation for my own self-worth. And I think that's a powerful lesson for people to hear.
Working on that.
And maybe we've just discovered a topic, So, all right, yeah, we're going to have a conversation just on gratitude and the ability to receive gratitude. So I think that's a really powerful thing. Right, let's wrap up. One more fun question for you, and then we'll wrap up here. If you were sat down now with your 18-year-old self, which was like 3 years ago, something like that,
Yeah.
what advice would you give to your 18-year-old self now, based upon everything you've talked about with us today?
Be present and take action out of a place of faith and surrender.
Wonderful. Say that one more time. Be present and
Be present and take action, but out of a place of faith in myself, in God, and surrender. So not
yes.
out of resistance.
Perfect. Yeah. And you mentioned Carl Jung earlier. Yeah. What we resist persists. Yeah. I like that quote. And I think it's Carl Jung. And I don't even know what year that would have been, a long time ago. But thank you. Yeah, this has been fun as always. I know that we wanted to do this earlier. So the good news is now that this will be out there quickly, because there's the backlog to get things produced is much shorter. And so this story is going to hit the headlines quick. But thanks very much. We're going to wave goodbye to everybody listening.
Thank you very much.
Rewind it. Speak soon. Bye-bye.
Honored to be here.